my channel. I'm Jackie, and if you are new here, welcome. If you are not new, I am so pleased you decided to come back. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite liquid foundations because I have a ton of them. Literally, I'm sitting in front of a ton of them. I tried to narrow this video down to the very best of them because I feel like I have quite a bit of some of the best foundations out there for women of color and also for women that have oily skin. There were so many others that I wanted to include, but they were either not considered liquid foundations, they were more CC creams, BB creams. I don't know, maybe I should do a separate video on that. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So this is going to be a video of me talking about a little bit of everything. So I've ordered the foundations based on coverage all the way from light all the way up to medium. The first foundation is a newer favorite. This is the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Water. This one you have to really shake up very carefully before you use it. It is a water-based foundation and it is very light on the skin, it's skin-like, and it's very much so that kind of water-activated technology. If you have like acne-prone skin, if you have hyperpigmented skin, and you're looking to cover blemishes, this might not be your best bet, but I do like it on those days where I just want to put something on, go and be done. Oh, by the way, I do wear that in the shade dark. That is the darkest shade that they offer. I'm hoping that they will expand that line a little bit more because I really like it. Not everybody wants to be full on, full cover all the time, including myself, even though I can be total full on diva glam. And the next foundation that really actually reminds me a lot of the BB Water is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. Now, I hated this foundation when I first tried it, but now I understand the idea of it. Like, I can't always look full on glam. Like, ain't nobody got time for all that 24/7. Finish is so beautiful and so skin-like and lightweight on the skin. Again, not one of those heavy coverages, but if you do want to step it up a notch, same technology, same finish, slightly more coverage, I would suggest trying the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel, and I wear the shade Cocoa Medium. The shade match is absolutely perfect. I can tell that this is going to be really good in both the summer months and winter months, because some foundations have weird in-between shades where I'm like either or, and now that we're going into fall winter, skin is gonna start getting a little lighter, so I really like this because it is one of my best matching foundations at the moment. Now, these next few foundations I want to talk about are going to be your medium buildable foundations. These are going to be the foundations for the girls that are kind of in-betweeners, not quite ready for light coverage. Maybe you still have some hyperpigmentation or blemishes, or maybe you just like the skin to look a little bit more made up. Nothing wrong with that. One of my favorites from the drugstore is from Black Opal. This is the True Color Pore Perfecting Foundation. Oh my God, this is hands down probably one of my, it's up there with one of my favorite foundations, period. Not just drugstore foundations. I love the finish. The finish is so skin-like, reminds me a lot of the Bobbi Brown Skin with a little bit more coverage. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably not one of the best long wearing foundations because a lot of those skin-like foundations, you put them on and you know, it's like your skin. So 6 hours later, you might not look the best. But I still like the fact that it's lightweight, and who cares? Like, you can always take a powder, leave it in your purse and touch it up throughout the day. It's something that you're able to kind of work around, especially if you're not being photographed or if you're not at a special occasion or anything like that, or being out for hours and hours at a time. I've tried the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. I do like it. It's probably not really one of my favorites. I don't remember if it was this one that oxidized on me or Revlon Color Stay. If it was, I believe maybe it was, I think it was the Color Stay. I would recommend it. I would recommend it if you are canoodling down the drugstore aisle, you're looking for something that has a little bit more coverage. I would say definitely go with L'Oreal True Match. It's just, I have so many foundations. It just gets overwhelming sometimes. While you're at the drugstore, also check out the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. I wear the shade 320, which is soft sable oil-free foundation. Now, I have oily combination skin, if I did not mention that earlier. Sometimes I feel like you have to be a little careful with the oil-free foundations because sometimes, every once in a while, I do feel like they work against your skin type and not with it. You would think that something that lacked oil would be beneficial to you because you have oily skin, but sometimes I kind of feel that the depletion of oil kind of gets us into trouble. So I would be careful with that. The gel-like consistency and the finish of this definitely puts this high up with the foundations that I would recommend to you guys. I have the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. Now, the last time I talked about my favorite foundations, you guys were so surprised that I didn't mention the Makeup Forever HD foundation. While I do like the foundation, I guess I really wouldn't put it up there with my holy grail, at least not for me. Okay, so when a company relaunches a product or bumps up a product, right? You don't really expect much, but I got a few bottles of this just from some of the events that I've attended for Makeup Forever, and I tried it, and I honestly can feel, touch, like if I could taste the difference between the old foundation and the new one, I probably could tell you what the differences are, because the Ultra HD is so amazing. It is probably one of the most HD friendly foundations out on the market right now. It just smooths the skin, it blends into the pores. What I do like, which I didn't mention earlier about the middle coverage foundations, is you can either sheer them out or you can really build them up to a fuller coverage. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. I feel like these are the most versatile out of all of them. Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless. This is another brand. Okay, that relaunched and made us another version of an old foundation. But when they came out with the matte poreless version, say no more. They got it right and they did it so beautifully. I really wish they would come out with more shades of this foundation, because I think they have like 2 darker, and this is coconut, 355 coconut. Yeah, Maybelline, like, you guys really knocked this one out of the park. 2 thumbs up for matte poreless. It's buildable, coverage is beautiful. It is not super mattifying on the skin. It photographs great, and I really like that. Now, these next few foundations I'm gonna talk about are my full coverage. These are my heavy duty foundations when you need to go out, when you need to look fly. These 6, 7, 8+ hours long wearing foundations that we all live and die for at the end of the day. Acne prone skin. If you have acne prone skin, you probably should stay away from the MAC line. But I do really like the Studio Fix Fluid. In my opinion, it's probably, and they have a plethora of other foundations that they've launched, you know, obviously since MAC was founded. And this is one of the originals. I think that they should never change this formula. If they did, I would probably boycott MAC, like seriously. No, I'm just kidding. But I love the coverage. I do think that the shades from MAC are a little wonky. Be careful with them, because they can either run not too yellow. Actually, I'm fine with the NC series. I just feel like the NW series runs a little too warm. So I think they need to kind of watch that. And this one reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless. Hello, drugstore high-end dupe, anyone? Look out for that. This is probably the foundation that I get complimented the most on, my skin in general, the most, when I wear Lancome Teint Idole. Talk about a beautiful finish. I love the shades. I love that Lancome for the department store is just all the way here for women of color. I love that Lupita represents this brand. I love this foundation. It photographs beautifully. Please, if you can find your proper shade, do it. I wear 500 Suede W. I'm guessing that's their warm, because I have golden undertones, and this is one of the best matching foundations that I own. It's beautiful. Definitely full high coverage. So my second Marc Jacobs foundation on this list is the Remarkable. This is the heaviest foundation I own, period. Please, when I say please, use this lightly. Sometimes when there's something sneaky about those really high coverage foundations, because I think I'm expecting like to pump molasses out of it, but sometimes they're just as watery as all your other foundations, so you really have to be careful. This one, I'm telling you, be really careful. It has this type. I really don't like these applicators. I really don't like these applicators at all. It's also similar to what Smashbox BB Camera Ready BB Water uses. I don't like that. I want to pump it, okay? I mean, in some aspect, you can open it and like dab it on the face, and it is pretty easy to work with. I can understand. Actually, okay, I lied. I do kind of like it for that reason. Because what I've been doing lately with foundation is I'll apply it first and then blend it out. And I actually really like that, because you have a little bit more control. But anyway, what I was gonna say about Marc Jacobs foundation is be very careful. Super high coverage, very heavy, but beautiful. Like, I feel like my skin looks and feels like velvet with that foundation. And it also reminds me a lot of the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I've almost kind of replaced this one as my summer foundation, because The shade of Double Wear I have in the summer is not cute, and I'm still kind of summer tan. I'm still pretty summer tan. So I haven't touched Double Wear all month, but the coverage is A1. And what I especially like about Estee Lauder Double Wear is it doesn't settle into my smile lines. It's one of the few foundations I have that I don't have to worry about extra doubling up powder and primer in that area. Right up there with full coverage, like apply sparingly, is the Stila Stay All Day. I think I also included this one in my I don't see why I wouldn't. But yes, this one is super high coverage. It runs a teensy bit on the red, like really extra warm. So in the summer, it's really good, which is more appropriate for summer anyway, because it's very mattifying. In the winter, I tend to stay away from this one unless I really shear it down with something else or like conceal it up, because it's just too red. It's too red. But I do like the fact that it comes with a concealer up top. I think that's really innovative and really helpful. So I like that. You get two products in one. That one reminds me a lot of the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, Lock-It tattoo, I don't know, whatever their tattoo line is. That one also from Kat Von D gets 2 thumbs up for chocolate girls. MAC recently also launched the Pro Long Wear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I was quite skeptical about this foundation because I feel like I stick to the classics. I stick to the classics with MAC. I stick to their old formulas. Everything new that they've launched over the past couple of years, I've just not really been here for. But with this foundation, they did it, and they did it absolutely right. I have the shade NC50. The NW series was just way too red in my opinion, but not everybody's my shade. So I'm sure that foundation works for someone. It just didn't work for me. So I went with NC50, whereas normally I go towards the NW series. And I really like this one because once you put it on, stays put. It's got a gel-like finish, and it's like super full coverage, but kind of buildable. The Black Up line is one of the newest lines, although it's not a new brand. It's one of the newest lines to be added to the Sephora lineup, which I'm really proud of. Amen for Black Up. The full coverage cream foundation is heavy duty. It is a cream, but it applies like a gel basically. And some of the foundations can be a little on the red side, so you do have to be careful. But this is a super full coverage foundation. And I like the fact that it's oil controlling, it's mattifying, and once you put it on, it's just not budging. It's really good. This foundation actually reminds me a lot of Studio Sculpt from MAC, which I think is a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I think it's one of their most beautiful foundations, but it's just not quite there for oily skin types. I can only use Studio Sculpt in my normal spots. So like right here, like after I'm peeling, or after I am, like if my skin's really dry, like if I'm using like an acne medication that's really drying, I can only use foundations like that in that mouth area. The next foundation, which I'm also wearing in today's video, is the Black Up Mattifying Fluid Foundation. I love this foundation. This is their version of Studio Fix Fluid. Right up there with coverage, right up there with finish. It's mattifying, it stays put all day. A little warm, slightly warm, but I feel like I made it work. I mean, I think it looks really good on camera. You know what I find, actually a quick tip that helps with those foundations that are super warm is after I apply it, some people like to blot off the excess oil on their foundation immediately after applying it. What I like to do is take a big powder brush and a setting powder. This one is the Buttercup. And I feel like because it's yellow golden, if I just swish a little bit of that brush around, tap all over the face and kind of set it, it kind of tones it down a little bit. So quick little bonus tip. The next foundation I have is the Second Skin from Sasha. This is a heavy if you are in an area where it's very humid, if you're in an area where it's very hot, just moist, tropical climates. This foundation is formulated for the girl like you. You put this on, it's not going anywhere. Their foundations run yellow golden, which I really like because I'm biased, obviously, because I'm yellow golden. And the last two foundations I have are actually drugstore high-end dupes for each other, so ooh, save the best for last. I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. Now, I'm not in agreement with the shade that I use. It is the shade Cocoa. Actually, sometimes I have to mix this one with another shade. I don't know the name of it offhand. It's in my drawer somewhere over yonder. But this is a really good, long-wearing, sometimes too mattifying foundation, which I'm just one of those girls where even though I have oily combination skin, I still feel like skin should look like skin. You know what I'm saying? But this is definitely high up there, holy grail amongst a lot of bloggers, amongst a lot of women of color. Really, really love this foundation. If you have like oily skin, I don't really think you'll take a liking to it too much. If you have dry skin, to be completely honest, I think it might cling to the dry patches if you have them. So I would probably stay away from this one, even though it is gel based. And the last foundation I want to mention is the high-end equivalent of that foundation, like literally almost the exact same thing. This is the Becca Ever Matte Shine Proof Foundation. Becca, just amen to Becca for just getting it right for women of color. They have some of the best skincare products, or skin prep products I should say, primers, the highlighters are amazing. The foundations, like, they get foundations right, and I like the fact that they think and consider every single skin tone. I love the coverage. It's a little heavy sometimes. It's a little too mattifying for me personally, especially now that weather's gonna start dropping a little bit. I think that's a better summer foundation, but I still really, really like it, and I think that the coverage is flawless. Interestingly enough, these gel-based foundations that on their own are like super, super heavy and mattifying usually are like really, really good mixing mediums to be added to other products. I keep these around because I may not necessarily like it on its own. My advice to you guys is just use this video as a guideline. These are just some of my favorites that I've gotten to know over the couple of years of me doing makeup. To all of you guys who may be having a hard time finding out what your foundation shade, might I suggest the Sephora Foundation Matrix is, in my opinion, one of the best on the market right now. One little helpful tip for how you can navigate that is go on their website and you fill out the little questionnaire. It asks you like what your shade, you give like one foundation shade. Now my tip would be to take the foundation that matches you the absolute best. So for me, I played around with it and I like put in a couple different shades to see how accurate it was, and it was like dead on accurate when I used the Lancome Teint Idole because it's one of the best matching foundations on me. And I think that was, oh, and the Makeup Forever HD, because this one is like literally my skin graft in a bottle. So I hope that you found this video helpful on hopefully navigating through some of the liquid foundations out there on the market right now. If you did, go ahead and give this video just a little thumbs up. It's free, girl. Just real quick, tap that button. And if you are not subscribed, be sure to do so on your way out so you can see more awesome videos like this one. I hope to see you guys on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.